Welcome. I'd like to give some tips on gluten-free eating and purchasing from Costco. And this could go for non-gluten-free diet folks as well. All right, so I've seen a lot of people that wonder what they should be buying at Costco, especially if they're on a gluten-free diet. And you do need to be careful because if you buy things and they expire or they go bad, it's obviously a waste of money and not a good deal to buy at Costco. But there's many things that I enjoy and I find that I save money on by buying at Costco, and I wanted to share those with you. So I'm going to start off with baking goods that I buy at Costco. And so for this, I'm going to show you a few things. First off, I buy a gluten-free flour mix from Costco. This I can use in all kinds of gluten-free baking items, from pancakes to bread to muffins to pizza crust. I personally make a few gluten-free staples in my house. I like to make gluten-free pizza crust and bread for the most part, but I do every once in a while want to make those other things like muffins, cookies, etc. And this flour works in there, and it makes it super easy for gluten-free cooking, and it's sold in bulk, and it's a very good deal for the price. Okay, so baking goods, I also buy yeast because you can buy little tiny packets at the store, but you only make one item for tiny packet. And it's like $1 for 3 packets. The package at Costco is huge and can make many gluten-free items, and you can store it in the fridge so it will last a while. All right, next baking items. I buy my sugars there. This is powdered sugar. I also buy my regular sugar there because I use a lot of that. I also buy brown sugar there as well. So those are other baking items that I use a lot that I buy there. Again, you have to use them quite a bit, but they're a very good deal for the quantity you get. Other baking items, I buy a lot of my sweeteners there. I have agave syrup that I bought there because I don't always like to use sugar and everything. I also have maple syrup I've bought there, which is very tasty and great deal for the price, and doesn't go bad very quickly. I also buy honey there. Some other baking items are from the spice aisle. Those items would be things like cinnamon. I use a lot of cinnamon, and so I buy that in bulk. Other things you might use there would include things like vanilla. I use a lot of vanilla. Their pure vanilla is an awesome deal for the quantity you get. Other items you might bake with or use to make things like snack foods. Walnuts. I buy walnuts in bulk there. Just make sure any nut that you buy is gluten-free. Other items I like to buy there include olive oil. Another baking good that is an amazing deal at Costco. I like to make smoothies a lot, so I buy a lot of things that I can make and throw in smoothies and yogurts, things like that. Things like the frozen fruit, chia seeds, very healthy, great deal in bulk, but you do have to make sure you continually use them so they don't go to waste. Flax seeds. Another good item to throw in smoothies and snack foods. Yogurt. Also, I am not dairy-free, but for those of you who are, or for me, I cut back on my dairy. I buy coconut milk, and this comes in cases, and I love using this for smoothies and various items that I bake, and for my kids as well. Also, on top of having frozen fruit, they have canned fruit. These are mangoes, and they are canned in natural mango juice. They also have a lot of dried fruit. Just make sure, I like to buy the dried fruit that doesn't have added sugars and the least amount of preservatives. Other items that I buy. These are also baking items, but they come from the refrigerator aisle. We have butter that they sell in bulk. Also used a lot in my household. I don't have a whole case of them, but eggs. I buy eggs in bulk at Costco as well because I eat those a lot. And other aisles. I buy rice. I eat tons of rice. Cheap, easy, gluten-free food. They have several types and varieties of rice. I also like to buy corn tortillas there in bulk. I use tons of corn tortillas and I freeze them if I don't use them all right away, which I don't usually. And lastly, they do have some gluten-free type snack ideas there. This is gluten-free jerky that I bought that came in packets. This was super handy for when I would go on trips or for lunches. They have other gluten-free items that are ideal for trips and lunches. Also in their refrigerator aisle, they have various meals that you can heat up quickly and whatnot that are also gluten-free, so they are worth a shot. So thank you for watching my video. I hope this was helpful.